A lot of people say that Confederate monuments and statues and flags are heritage, not hate. This is a response to accusations that, the Confederacy was racist, the Civil War was about slavery, and that many racists have used the Confederate flag specifically as a symbol of hate. Now, all of that is factually true. It might be a dishonest framing to use those facts as definitive when there are so many others. The Confederacy was racist, but it's kind of insulting to reduce a complex nation full of complex people with complex motivations and values and aspirations to a single fact. The Confederacy was a lot more than just racist. It was an entire society full of people, many of whom were racist, probably most of whom. But nevertheless, their lives were about a lot more than that. They have a lot of accomplishments that we can be proud of, even if you're not proud of their racism. They have a lot of values that you can be proud of, even if you're not proud of their racism. And likewise, the Civil War wasn't only about slavery. There were other issues. Federalism, states' rights, tariffs. And I think subsequent history has shown the Yankee cause to be dangerously wrong and dangerously misguided about those issues. So yeah, there was more to it than slavery. Slavery was a big part of it, maybe the biggest, but there was a lot more to it than slavery. And, as for the racists who have adopted the Confederate flag as a symbol, well, people have adopted the Confederate flag as a symbol of a lot of other things, too. As a symbol of regional, subnational identity. As a symbol of Southern history and heritage and culture. And as a symbol of rebellion or resistance to an overreaching central authority. And as a symbol of, independence. And, a middle finger to arrogant, snobby, bi-coastal elites that are meddlesome and culturally chauvinistic. And all of those are legitimate, all of those are valid. Things to adopt the Confederate flag for. But, ultimately you just have to realize that disclaiming this racism stuff, whether it's the, slavery and the Civil War and the Confederacy or racism and by subsequent racists, you can disavow it all you want, you can disclaim it all you want. It's not going to placate these people, it's not going to appease these people because, they don't even care about the racism. They are trying to get you to roll over. They are trying to take something away from you, to exercise their power over you, to demonstrate their power over you, and to deprive you of something because, that's how they work. That's what gets them off, is, breaking shit and taking things away and demonstrating their power over people. And so, disavowing the racism or disclaiming the racism isn't going to get you anything. They want the symbols gone. And they want them gone because they want you to roll over and accept their power, their authority. And so, explaining the complexity, explaining the nuance isn't going to get you anywhere. It's not going to get you any leniency. It's not going to get you any space. If you want to do it for your own peace of mind, go ahead. But you're the only person who cares. You're the only person who cares that your Confederate flag in particular is not racist. Alright, so I would say own it. Own the racism, own everything. But don't apologize for it. You don't have to apologize for your history. There's nothing that I want that I can get by apologizing for my ancestors or apologizing for their history. Nothing I want. And so, I don't do it. And if you're a normal human being, there's nothing you can get by doing that you want. Again, these people are just in it to humiliate you. They're just in it to take something away from you. So saying that it's heritage, not hate, is not going to appease them. It's not going to buy them off, because you haven't given up the thing itself. You haven't accepted their frame enough. You've accepted it enough to deny racism, but you haven't accepted it enough to tell them to fuck off. And that's the only thing that's ever going to stop them ultimately. Because who cares if our ancestors were racist? Maybe they were right. Or even if they weren't right, everyone was racist back then. So what? The Yankees were racist back then. Lincoln was racist back then. Everyone was a fucking racist back then. So I'm not going to hold my ancestors to a higher standard than everyone else's. And furthermore, I'm not going to just assume that they were wrong on that point or any others. I'm going to look at the facts. I'm going to look at the evidence. I'm going to look at the arguments. You can't use a slur to reduce complex issues to a single talking point. That's bullshit. You can't do that. Or you can, but don't expect it to make you right. And, so just stop with this weak-ass shit that tries to straddle our frame and theirs. Heritage, not hate, is a way to try to buy them off within their own frame. It's not going to work. All right? We have to have our own frame. We have to have our own narrative. We have to have our own set of values. And, trying to straddle the frame with them, trying to compromise with them in any way, it's just not going to work, because they're not interested in compromise. They're interested in absolute power. They're interested in total control. They're interested in progressive supremacy. And if you're not going to give them everything you want, everything they want, then you're not the ally that they want. Because the ally that they want is a humiliated thrall with no say and no ability to contradict them or to challenge them or to deny them anything that they want. And as long as you're contradicting them or denying them or challenging them in any way, then you're not doing what they want. And so, there's just no point in trying to compromise with them or trying to appease them or trying to, buy into their frame and, defend yourself on the terms that they offer in their frame. It isn't going to work. So just tell these people to fuck off. So what if my ancestors were racist? I'm proud of my racist ancestors. My racist ancestors did a lot of cool shit. They did a lot more cool shit than, the ancestors of these people were supposedly being not racist for the benefit of. My racist ancestors were fucking awesome. And even the racist shit that they did was fucking awesome. I'm not ashamed of any of it. Why would I apologize for any of it? There's nothing in it for me. Being ashamed or apologizing or doing any of that crap. So, I don't say heritage, not hate. I don't try to deny racism or disavow racism or split hairs about what is or is not racism. Because that's buying into their frame. That's accepting their value structure. And it's true, you're not giving them everything that they want. But if you're not going to give them everything they want, you're just as bad as someone who gives them nothing that they want. So why fucking bother trying to appease them that much? Cut out the weak shit. Be strong. Be unapologetic. Be proud. Heritage and hate? I don't know. But come up with something else.